Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to another video. So today we're going to be working on the Dodge 3500. This is my 2001 Ram, and pretty much what we got going on is we're doing the e-brake cable, and then we got to also knock out the ball joints on the front. So the main purpose of this video is going to be the ball joints. However, back when I did the e-brake a couple videos ago, I was missing one cable, and that was this one's rear e-brake cable. It wound up sending me the front one, and that's not good. So it's been dragging a little bit, which is not good at all considering these are new shoes. So I'm going to knock that out real quick, just a quick little montage and show you what I'm doing, and then we're going to go ahead and hop off onto the ball joints. So it should be pretty easy. It's sprinkling out a little bit right now, but honestly, dude, I really don't give a crap. I just need to get this done. So let's get at it. So if you need a rundown on how to get to this point, go ahead and watch the video linked above. Anyway, now that we're here, the e-brake cable is right here and runs up over the diff through its collective little holders, I guess. It comes in right through here, runs around right here. Now the issue is, well, let me go show you. All right, so my e-brake is completely released right now, and as you can see, it's very loose on the top, and that's because this is not releasing. It is completely seized. So what we're going to go ahead and do next is pretty much we're going to undo these bolts, get this out, release. Actually, I think I can do this. Hold on. Yeah. All right, whatever. So it's out now. That's not supposed to be able to do that. So we'll retension this up properly once we get the new one in. And then all we got to do now is work out this e-brake cable all the way down to the back, which can be kind of a pain. So, all right, so now that we got it back here, all it's got to do is route through this little hole. There's a clip right here, and then up top, I got to get that right there. There's a bolt that needs to come off the top end right there. And then we just finish routing it that way. So all in all, pretty easy. So for anyone trying to get this top bolt out, there is a 12 on the bottom, or I'm sorry, a 14 on the bottom and a 12 on top, and you got to counter rotate. I almost bent my brake line right there because I didn't realize this whole thing is actually loose. So you just got to hold the bottom one and try and get the top bolt. It's a real pain in the ass. I did not see that. And that's what it looks like when it's in. I've definitely done more fun things in my life. That top bolt is a 13, by the way, not a 12 like I said earlier. All right, so next little loop we got to jump through is this guy right here. This is one of those times where I'm not being so smart. That's that clip. Apparently you just unbolt it with that bolt right there and bolt on the new one. So whoops, but now it's in. So now all we got to do is thread it through the actual e-brake itself. It's getting pretty dark out, so I'm not sure how well visibility is going to go. Definitely gonna be a ball joint thing tomorrow, that's for sure. All right, so now that that's in, all you got to do is run it through the spring again, pop the spring back on, run it through its little clip right there and into there, and boom, we're done. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it back together real quick. All I basically got to do is slide the shoe back on. I'm gonna do some minor adjustments with that adjustment wheel right there, just to make sure it doesn't drag anymore. And yeah, guys, we're good. Alrighty, so we got the e-brake cable adjusted, and that's gonna call it for tonight. Come back tomorrow and start knocking out the ball joint. All right, so it's the next day, folks. Pardon if I'm dirty. So finally got the lower ball joint in on the truck. See, it's right there. And I actually figured out what's making all the noises. My upper freaking control arm bushing right here is shot. So you can see it moving. Yeah, so that's where all my funny front end noises are coming from. So they're actually really inexpensive. I just gotta figure out how to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those on order. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and knock out this other side. Now that I figure out how to do this one, I'll show you guys how I do the other side on the lower one. And it's not super easy, but definitely making progress on this thing. And honestly, I don't even know if the ball joints need to get done, but I know the other side, this one has a cracked boot on the top over there. So we'll go ahead and knock that out. Got the driver's side buttoned up. We're on the passenger side now. This is what I was talking about my boot being all split open. So all we gotta do is remove these top 3 bolts, and then once those are done, we can go ahead and drop this out. And there's so much dirt on this thing. But yeah, let's get that out of the way. We'll be able to pop in the new ball joint. So after using a significant amount of hammer persuasion, mostly by banging it right here, a little right there, lowering the jack off of the lower control arm and having a jack stand under there. This way, this can drop down. It eventually popped out. So it has popped out right now. All I gotta do is pop this guy off real quick. Like so. And hopefully this isn't gonna freaking have massive amounts of regrets when it comes out. Like that. Make sure I don't pull the brake line too hard. Yep, she's out now. and just pop this the rest of the way off. All right, this bolt's off, ball joint is out. So it's actually in pretty good shape except for that boot being all screwed up. It doesn't have any abnormal amounts of weird play in it, which is good, but broken boots are not good in general. So to the trash heap with it, and time to get the new one in real quick. Just like that, new one is in. So now to get started on this lower one, easiest way I found to do it. So we got, I don't know if you can tell, we got 4 bolts right there. All of these 4 right here, and you may or may not need to hold it on the bottom, unsure. So we're gonna start by taking these 4 off, and then I'll show you what to do next. So next thing you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and take a hammer to each of these, or with some of these are actually really tight in there. They kind of created their own threads, so just take a ratchet and just unbolt each of these. It's not gonna fall away because it's actually sandwiched in between 2 pieces of metal, and you gotta slide the whole thing out that way. Next up, you're gonna go ahead and remove the cotter pin and then take a 30mm socket. Thing's a big boy. And we're just gonna slide it on the end of this guy. And I use a breaker bar, and you're just gonna take that sucker off. I find it usually easier to remove the tie rod right here. This way I can get better access. You can kind of use it to use its own weight against itself. By just knocking it like that, you can kind of see it's already started to disalign. So I'm just gonna work it back and forth, knock it the other way, back and forth until it eventually pops out. Job is to go ahead and pop this bad boy out. So as you can see right there, so the way I'm doing this, I stuck an old bolt in there, and then I use I'm using my ball joint press that I got for ball joints need to be pressed in. I'm using this just because I have it. The proper way to do this, go ahead and pick yourself up a ball joint separation fork. I think it's just called a ball joint fork. They're like 17 bucks, so I just don't have one on hand right now. This is what I do have. It worked on the other side just fine, so I'm gonna go ahead and just crank it down, and it should pop that ball joint right out. So as easy as that, I went ahead and got some pressure on it, and then started whacking this lower area with a hammer, and she popped on out. So I just need to readjust this so I can actually get it out all the way. So close. So close, but it's getting caught up. Let me pull it out and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, and she's out. Definitely, this one's not like completely gone, but it's definitely on its way. Moving it around really easily. So another one down. Install is the exact opposite. I found it's easiest to put the new one into its new home first before trying to slide this piece in. Well, let me show you real quick. So we're gonna put it into that hole down there first, and then once it's in, we can take the whole thing and start working it back into this slot. And once we get one of the bolt holes lined up, you can take a screwdriver, stick it through the hole, and pull it into proper positioning. So we went ahead and got everything kind of loosely in there. There's really no easy way to get this in here. So you just gotta kind of work it back and forth and find out what works for you. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's in there now. So all we're gonna do is tighten everything down and then put our cotter pin in, throw in this guy, and we'll be pretty much done with this whole thing. See, we got ahead and got our cotter pin in down there. Full bolts are nice and tight. That's good. Seems to be good to go. She's back together, as you can see. Pretty good. So that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Went ahead and ordered those new upper control arm bushings, so we should have those in the mail here pretty soon. And yeah, so take it easy. See you guys in the next video.